Of course, there are no foreign troops in the United States. Wrong. Of course, these are not foreign troops in the United States. Well, they are at Fort Polk. It is the United States. And this time there's 21 different countries represented instead of 14. This is Cooperative Nugget 97. No press coverage on it whatsoever. There's some little CNN blurbs you might recall. But what's interesting is my favorite, which we have on tape, of our illustrious commander of Cooperative Nugget, Major General Sheehan, who in a podium much like this stood and said, "It is because of operations like this that we can truly create a new world order." Not my words, his words, on tape. And not only that, but did we get these off something we taped? No. It was done by the Information Service for the Department of Defense, and it was on their tape. Their release, not ours. They were very proud of this. Of course, there is no such thing as a new world order, except for the one he's talking about. I'm a little confused about it. Yeah, I'm confused about a lot of things. Well, interestingly enough, this shows you that we have a larger contingent. The one thing that they apparently modified with this exercise, last time they practiced house-to-house search and seizure, confiscation of firearms, vertical checkpoints, seizure and control on the roads, roadblocks, etc., etc. However, one of our first questions is, it's really neat that you keep training these guys to go in the same building over and over again, but you obviously haven't been in the United States. You may come with 10 people to the first door, but you're only going to go with 6 or 5 to the next one.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Yeah.
How to deal with their own casualties and to deal with the civilians they get. That was part of the scenario for this time around in '97. And that is on tape and available. But this, by the way, if you want information on this, on Cooperative Nugget, look at the top of the sheet. It will give you the website. These were all on computer. It could be accessed and put on disk. And these were copied by a friend of ours. I was given the discs instead of the photos this time, which is just as good because the quality is good enough with a color copier or a color printer.
Can you have them read the website?
We'll be passing around. You'll be able to see it.
Can I get it by then? Please read it.
I don't have it handy. They've got it with them. I'll tell you what, start handing the sheets back as you look at them. That way, we don't care if they're in complete order. And pass them around. That's okay. The reason I bring this up, and if after the program we can access the web, don't worry. We'll let you take a look at it. I'm not going to run away or anything. The reason I bring this up is that there is a tremendous amount of data. This is only one sliver. This is a small finger of what we have at the office and we have available, some of which we barely have enough time to go through properly, and we're going to have to spend more time on. That's why I said we need your help. The militia movement, the patriot movement has many, many hands to make for light work. We're just not effectively using all of them the way that we should. One of the attachments to this, by the way, and Cooperative Nugget was not the only operation of its type. I want to get this in motion too, but other color photos. And again, I will say this, that we can go to a court of law, and I saw these photographs 3 months before the Oklahoma bombing. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. A little less than 3 months, actually, because we were in Tulsa at the time. And I'll explain, first of all, what you have here. I asked most people, what are they looking at? So most people are happy if you've seen these, and have seen them in other publications. These were color copies of original prints off the original negatives. These are not the only 2 pictures of their type. There were hundreds of photographs taken with each flyover. This particular site, just to walk you through it, is a demolition site, or a demolition practice site, or just a range site. You'll notice we have, I asked everybody what this is, it says a chicken coop. No, it's an armored grandstand with Kevlar and ballistic Lexan in front of it. You have what is a laboratory site off to the side. You have an FBI ATF mobile command post in the picture. You have a Ryder truck. Oh, did I say that? You have a Ryder truck. And other devices. That's one photograph.
Don't get too close.
That's right. Don't get too close. Well, here's what's interesting. This is the more important photo. What's in the middle of it?
Ryder truck.
And it's the same size. And we've got the serial numbers almost off it. They're working on that still, but what I understand. We talked to the guys here a couple weeks ago. Anyway, this was at Camp Gruber in Oklahoma, approximately 16 to 18 miles from Oklahoma City. This site was a portable site. Camp Gruber, this is a very remote area of Camp Gruber. It was a Class D facility. We believe it's been upgraded to a Class B. You'll notice features which identify where it is, and trust me, there are photographs that show the whole area from a higher elevation, so you can tell exactly where this is located, beyond a shadow of a doubt. But then I'll explain in a minute who took these pictures. The site shows a compound with a 12-foot privacy fence. They didn't think that was enough, so they put 4 more individual privacy fences inside that. This site was active from the middle of the fall of 1994 through to February 28th of 1995, only shortly before the bombing. You have a series of military vehicles. You have 5 military GP medium tents, 4 maintenance tents, which are obviously make up a little factory, hint, hint, and then a compound area beyond that. These photographs, as you take a look at them, I will also make another statement here, have been given to at least one state representative who 2 months ago sent them to the Department of Defense, who has still not sent a response. And I don't think we're going to get one, just like they did about the February 25th date. Now, anybody here ever been in the military? How many raise your hands? Okay, does anybody remember what the color for training ordinance is? Well, blue, later on, was changed to blue, modern blue. OD green for training ordnance, munitions, explosives. This, it's interesting because I had to ask myself when I looked at this originally here, again, not too long ago, so we're still trying to figure out why would they put blue tarps on airtight, watertight, sealed military vehicles. Then, I had to think back for a minute. Remember training colors. If you're creating bombs, you want to make sure that the device is properly marked. What you have here is a Humvee, and several of them, but you have a Humvee, a Cuck-B ambulance. You also have a trailer, the next size up from the Cuck-B ambulance, which is about the size of the standard GMC truck or Dodge truck with a camper on it. Oops. You then have the Ryder truck, and then you go to the next size, which is a trailer. Note there's another target that's right in between the two that was not in the operational area for assembly. My attitude on what this is, first of all, this was all brand new, made from scratch. You can see the power source, you can see what is a pearl tower arrangement, and all kinds of other fun stuff here. I'll explain what that is in a moment. Everybody remembers what they said, in order for you to use ammonium nitrate, you have to make sure it's drier, cleaner, happier, fancier, and you have to use a special process. Well, you won't recognize this way, but if you go by a chemical plant, and you notice the towers that are elevated like this, that's a portable pearl tower, it's on trailer. Now, there's a whole bunch of other details here, but my favorite is the guy right here, he realizes he's being photographed. He's wearing blue pants, a black t-shirt. Now, everybody understands black does not reflect light. He has what is a gold crest, which is probably a Treasury or FBI or ATF seal right here on the left breast. And you can even see it in this quality of photograph. Now, they got caught on the ground on this one probably by accident. This guy is actually in other shots is trying to get away and get under cover in the progressive shots after this one's taken. I'll go ahead and pass this around because I know this is my memory. From February 28th on, this site was completely vacated. It was emptied of all of what you see there except for the outside fence. Even the internal security fences were disposed of. First of all, most people say, well, anybody can take a picture. Well, very true, but we saw these photographs before Oklahoma, and the first thing they asked us was, what is this? 3 of the people who took the photos were state highway patrolmen from Oklahoma. 2 of them were county sheriff's deputies, and the others were local police officers. They utilized a variety of different aircraft and were surveying different sites for unusual activity around the state. Strangely enough, they came across this, photographed it, and came back and photographed it many times. The only thing that changed is that the compound, and that is a compound, because those are animals that were killing Americans, probably, we don't call that. We're using some supposition here. When the compound was sealed, a guard shack was put inside, guarding an empty facility. It was put with set up with a 24-hour guard mountains. Later on in the season, the next year, that entire inside court area was a lush green. Everybody remember what ammonium nitrate is? And what most nitrates used in explosives are?
Chicken drop.
And those photographs are all available too. I wanted to touch on that because this is an important benchmark with regard to, again, some of the information that is available and has been available and people made the effort to collect. It has gotten out, and the most important thing, and the guys who took these pictures were pressured to surrender the negatives so somebody could work with them. Yeah. Fortunately, they didn't surrender the negatives. This is the best way to pass on photographs I can think of. Go to a Kinko's or whatever color copying place you got and crank them out.